just went straight to going live, and this is a special emergency episode. Uh, I'm heading on the road, and I noticed that there was a spot on my sensor, and so I wanted to show a sensor cleaning example to you because I don't do it very often, and this is my chance to do it. So I'm going to show you first of all. I snapped a quick picture of the wall behind me. You can see it there. Get this lined up. Oop. That looks pretty good. You can see that uh, it looks pretty white. It looks pretty good. Not too disabling there, but if I open this up all the way and come down to this bottom left corner, let's see if I can get this in better view here. I'm gonna move this around. Here we go. Now I can see where I'm at. If I go all the way to the right hand side and then come down towards the bottom, you should be able to see a floating gray blob right here. So as I move my thumb around, it's kind of hard to pick up. It's kind of faint, but you can clearly see it on the back of the computer. Back of the camera. As I float up and down there. Yeah, right here. So you can barely see it here, but when you pull it up on the screen, it's pretty obvious. So there's some things that you want to do. And first of all, I will say not everybody cleans their own sensor. It's probably better to take it to the manufacturer or a um, camera store that does maintenance if you're not comfortable doing it yourself. But I've done it before on several cameras, so I feel okay doing it. Take it into your own hands. The first thing you want to do is take one of these little rocket air blowers and make sure that there's no dust on the outside of the lens. You should also probably make sure there's no dust on the lens itself, and we'll remove the lens and go ahead and give it a blast on the inside there as well. You can buy these little kits with the rocket blower in it, and these swabs and cleaner, everything comes together. Now, one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to blow inside of the camera because that will introduce moisture to your camera, and then you'll get more spots on your sensor and you can cause corrosion. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong. And normally when I blow out the inside of the camera or when I remove the lens or do anything where the camera is open, I keep it facing down so that no dust happens to fall in here. And also because when I blow it with the rocket blower as such, if anything is in there and it tends to fall out, it will fall out of the camera instead of staying inside. And that might be enough to get whatever that spot was on there. So I will put the camera back on, put the lens back on the camera, grab another shot of the wall behind me, take a look at that image. I'll zoom in all the way and move to the right. And the way that you'll notice these is that from shot to shot, you'll have a spot in the same area, whether or not you're taking a picture of the same place. So as you're moving around and taking more and more pictures, every picture will have a spot in that same exact area. And that's how you know that it's a sensor spot. It looks to me like just blowing it out did the trick. So you probably want to stick with that If that's the most you need to do, then your sensor is now clean. If that didn't do it, you can also run a sensor cleaning on the back of your camera. So if you go to menu and run down through the menu here, you probably have a different menu if you have a different camera. Nikon's would be the same. And maybe it would be under the little wrench here. That would make more sense. And find clean sensor dust or image dust off. That's a reference photo. What that does, image dust off reference photo, lets you take a picture of something like a gray wall or gray it out a little bit, and then you can use that image in some software to find out where all the dust spots are. You can even remove them in like Lightroom to have them removed from all of the images. That's more than what we're doing today. If I can find it in here, there is a spot to clean the sensor also. And what that does is it lets the sensor vibrate and heat up. So if there's anything on there that could be burned off, then it will burn it off. I don't do it very often, and I don't think it's necessarily the best way to clean your sensor. But sometimes it works, and in an emergency, you can just run it and make sure that you don't have any spots on your sensor when you're out on the job. I can't find it at this moment, but the other thing that I want to do is, just since I've got all of this out here, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the sensor cleaning. So I bought this kit. Like I said, it comes with these little swabs, and it comes with this fluid. Here, where are you at? About there. Does that show up better? There you go. I just got it off at Amazon, and it's very simple. I'm going to pick this up a little bit so that we can see this from both angles. All right, I've got the swab. I've got my camera here. I'm going to open the swab, trying not to touch anything like the swab face itself. All right, I've got that ready. I'm going to open the lens. Make sure my camera's off. This time it will be face up, and I want to set it here where you can see. Grab this. Set it on top of there. There we go. Now, you don't want to squirt the fluid onto the sensor. You just want to take one drop. You're going to place it on the swab pad. One drop here. That looked like a little bit more than one drop. That came right out. And then you're just going to, this swab is supposed to be the exact same size as the sensor. So you take it all the way to the left, press down, and pull all the way to the right. Flip it over, do it one more time. And that's it for that swab. It's done. Throw it away. Take your other swab, remove it from the package. This is now a clean, dry swab. You're going to dry the sensor in exactly the same manner. To the left, all the way to the right. Drag it across. That swab's done. Throw it away. Cap this up. For good measure, I'm going to give this one more blow. And then I'm going to put the lens back on. And that is how you clean your sensor. I'd take another picture of the wall. And then go back through here and see if I see anything. Now, one thing that I did once when I first started learning how to do this was that I accidentally didn't dry the sensor properly. like with the second swab. Maybe I was trying to save money and only use one swab. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I only dragged the sensor swab across, didn't dry it properly, and then I had streaks from the fluid that were on the sensor. Give you a look at this. This is the area where the dust spot was before. I'm not seeing any dust spots here. I will remove this and look at in Lightroom to make sure that I can blow it up to 100% and make sure I didn't miss anything. But it looks good to me. I don't see any streaks. I don't see any spots. And that is our sensor clean. I wanted to put this out there really quick. I'm about to hit the road. I'm packing everything up. And like I said, I don't do this very often. So every once in a while, I will interject these emergency opportunities into the course because, like I said, this is the rough draft for the final course. So I love your input on it. We can do input through the community. We'll start the community when we hit 1,000 subs, and we'll be able to communicate through there together. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to hear all of your questions. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next lesson. This will open my folder. I can do the outro video. I'm still learning all the buttons. Appreciate your patience. If I hit this, no. Just open the folder. That's all you got to do. Ah, I found it. There we go.